Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports' presentation of the NBA. I'm Damon Bruce. Thursday Hoops. It's going to be Josh Smith and the Atlanta Hawks up against the Dallas Mavericks. And now time for the call by Kevin Harlan. Let's get out to the opening tip-off in Big D.
It's NBA action on 2K Sports. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And our good friend Doris Burke will join us from the sidelines. Thanks for tuning in. We are inside the American Airlines Center, live from Dallas, Texas. It's Mavericks basketball. Looking at the starting five for the Atlanta Hawks. Heinrich and Johnson in the backcourt. Smith out there with Horford. And it's Collins in at the five. And for Dallas, Dirk Nowitzki and Tyson Chandler in the middle. Jason Kidd is out there with Rudy Fernandez. And it's Butler in at the small forward position.
Well, you look at Atlanta's team makeup last year, and it was similar to previous seasons. A very talented front court, some strong wing players, but nobody really running the show, and that was one of the reasons they traded for Kirk Heinrich at midseason.
And it's the Mavericks to start out. Outside Kidd. Horford against Nowitzki. Nowitzki left side. 5 to shoot. Money shot. Gets it to go. Back to Atlanta. They haven't had a controlling point guard in quite some time, Clark. You know, we heard Steve talk about Heinrich. Good pickup. They may still be looking for a little bit more.
Yeah, I think you may be right. Eventually, it always seems to catch up to them not having that elite, premier point guard type. They played well in the postseason without one, but they'll need a true floor general to become great to take that next step.
A couple years ago, they had that high pick, and they could have chose
Chris Paul, CP3. Right. I remember that.
Yeah. And they went another direction. Hawks on D. Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Larry Drew. And Doris, what'd you find out?
Kevin, to sum up his goal, he said that everyone needs to have the same mindset on defense today or they won't have success. He warned his team that they're up against a unit that will capitalize on every mistake they make so they can't get caught daydreaming on defense. Stay awake, Kevin.
Great stuff, Doris. Thanks. It sounds like, Clark, the most important number for them today is opposing shooting percentage.
Well, one of the best ways, Kevin, to contain a dangerous shooter is to keep the ball out of his hands. Deny him the ball, and deny has to be what your focus is.
Steve?
Well, the key is if you're going to deny, then you've got to anticipate the rotations. And so as long as they're schooled in the game plan tonight, when they understand what they're trying to accomplish, they can be aggressive and deny and then go ahead and make the rotations from there. You know, guys, I'm pretty sure when everybody else leaves the gym and goes home, Dirk Nowitzki just sneaks back into the gym and kind of hangs out at that foul line area. He's so comfortable at the elbow and at that high post area. He just shoots right over the top of everybody. It looks like a layup for him.
Fades. Goes to the glass on the bank shot.
Well, no defense there. I mean, he just takes the ball right to the rim.
And the Hawks with possession. 4-point game. Getting back to what Steve said about Dirk, with his height, Clark, that elbow shot is virtually impossible to guard.
We call it ATM time. Cash. Because when he gets it there, nobody can bother it. And he also can go by you. He's unorthodox, but he can still, because you have to respect that shot, he has the option to drive as well, but he's a remarkable shooter.
And Dallas has possession after the three-pointer from Joe Johnson. Heinrich hits to Smith. Backing him down is Johnson. Puts it up. Horford dishes to Heinrich. Back to Horford. And an emphatic dunk.
Well, I like that finish. Perfect for that possession.
Yep, a simple one-hand jam.
That's the way to do it, guys.
You look at Rick Carlisle on the bench, and it makes you think back to the old Celtics teams that he played on. What a group that was, and with the basketball knowledge that they had collectively, it's no surprise to see Carlisle succeeding with the Mavs and all of his other coaching jobs, also with the Pistons and with the Pacers as well.
Probably time to bring an extra defense a little bit.
Well, Steve, he's been so good, I think they got to take the ball out of his hands right now.
Now here's Johnson. He's got 5. There's the dish to Smith. From about 16. That's good, and it's Johnson with the assist. Smith's got his first 2 points of the night. Clark, everywhere he's gone, he's found a way to win. He was Coach of the Year in the NBA at one stop up in Detroit. Steve, he's just a winner.
Well, if you look at Carlisle's record as a coach, he's got one of the top career winning percentages ever in the league. So Rick Carlisle knows what he's doing. Fantastic season last year for Dallas. Very well-respected coach.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game.
You look at Joe Johnson and the number of minutes he's already logged in his career, and you wonder about him needing maybe to log fewer as he goes forward and gets a little older. You just don't know how much more effective he can be if he continues to log the heavy minutes.
And some changes here for the Mavericks. Haywood comes in for Chandler. And it's Marion in for Caron Butler. And then for Atlanta, Collins is checked in, and Marvin Williams subbed in for Josh Smith. Here's Kidd. Beyond the arc. That's good. Kidd's got 5 now. Look at those numbers, Clark, about Joe Johnson. 4 seasons over 40 minutes a game. 3 others over 38 minutes a game. Steve, I think it's starting to take its toll, perhaps.
Well, it could. I think the one thing about Joe Johnson, though, he doesn't really rely on athleticism in his game. He relies more on footwork and strength and power and skill. And so he's going to be able to be a very effective player for a long time as long as he stays healthy.
And the basket by Nowitzki.
Well, that's a quality look there. The defense a bit late.
And 2 straight now from long range, putting up points in a hurry, Clark.
Teague kicks to Horford. Feeds to Teague. Over Nowitzki. A nice shot by Teague. Here's Terry. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Nowitzki with the screen on Johnson. Outside Kidd. Marion outside. 5 on the clock. Shot on the wing. And there's Jason Kidd on the assist by Marion. That's 7 points for Jason Kidd. From past the arc, another 3 for Atlanta. Here's Kidd. From downtown, no good on that last second attempt there. The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far. Mavericks lead by 2.
And how about the defense, guys? They have really controlled the lane with their shot blocking.
Yeah, excellent defense there. Every shot has either been altered or rejected.
And we'll return momentarily. Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. Here's Heinrich.
The Mavericks did a really good job against the East, and you have to be strong out of conference if you're going to grab the number 3 seed in the West.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. And so in the game for the Hawks, we've got Marvin Williams, Crawford out there with Heinrich. Then there's Jason Collins, and it's Powell in at the power forward position. You're right about the Mavs there, Clark. 22-8 against the East last year. Steve, some good numbers.
On a surprising note, they swept some of the bigger fish over in the Eastern Conference. 2 wins each versus Boston and Miami. Oddly enough, they struggled against Milwaukee, like playing down to your competition.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Kevin, for Tyson Chandler, in the span of a year, he won both a gold medal and an NBA championship. And Chandler thinks that one helped lead to the other. I've always been a passionate guy, he said, but being a vocal guy for Team USA and seeing guys responding to what I was saying, I felt like this is on the biggest level you can possibly be on. I don't think if I hadn't had that Team USA experience that I would have been as vocal and successful here with the Mavs. Guys?
All right, Doris.
Well, that's how it is. I mean, one great achievement builds confidence for the next. And a fantastic run for Tyson Chandler. That was just a perfect feed there.
Here's Heinrich, looking for his first bucket of the game.
Jason Terry has had such a consistently productive career. He now has 11 straight campaigns where he's averaged better than 12 points per game. So he's a guy who you know what you're going to get from each and every night.
Collins, an easy 2 points on the layup.
That's not a defensive matchup that's going to work out too often. I mean, it's hard to give up that much size.
Terry outside. Inside, Marion backing down. And he cruises to the hoop for the layup. Marion's got his first bucket of the night. Steve just talked about Terry's consistency. It's always good, Clark, to have someone you know is going to come off that bench and going to get points for you every night. That consistency.
No mystery, no puzzle with JT. Jason Terry is bringing you offense, high-level energy, and shot making.
It looks like he's finding his touch now because the shots are starting to fall.
Dallas calls timeout.
You got to keep everybody on the same page. They need to get their heads together. That's the goal.
And the Mavericks with some changes. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Chandler. Butler comes in for Brendan Haywood. And Rudy Fernandez is subbed in for Jason Terry. Here is Barea. Nowitzki outside, moving the ball. Here's Butler. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dirk Nowitzki. Butler's got his first bucket in this one.
You know, the Hawks did not secure home court advantage in the playoffs last season, and a few games they dropped in that chase were against the Western Conference.
Crawford outside. Over Fernandez, and again Jamal Crawford. Crawford's got his third basket of the night right there.
He's done a nice job, a great job actually, of finding efficient shots here in the second. Shooting percentage always a function of the kinds of shots you get, and he's on a good roll after struggling a bit in the first.
Now here's Nowitzki. He's got 9. Good. Nowitzki's got 11 points. Well, Clark, you brought the Hawks and the West only 13 wins in 30 games for them against Western Conference opponents. Steve, that's going to have to improve.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to want to be a top seed in your conference, I think you have to play 500 ball at least against the other conference, and Atlanta certainly looking to make improvement this year.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Chandler comes in for Sean Marion. And Jason Kidd is subbed in for J.J. Barea. Atlanta also making some changes. Joe Johnson, he's checked in for Crawford. And it's Teague in for Kirk Heinrich. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Shoots it up. And the basket by Johnson. He's got 10.
They are just lighting him up from mid-range area.
You know, sometimes we forget about the value of the mid-range or in-between game. This team has made 8 of their last 10 with that shot, the in-between shot.
He had to fade back on that one, but still got it to go. Nowitzki's got 4 points in the quarter. Now Teague. Back to Smith. Defended by Butler. On the wing, Johnson. In Atlanta again with the bucket.
That's 10 straight points now coming in that mid-range jump shot area, guys.
Yeah, it is, and they're picking their spots and finding holes in the middle of that defense to get those shots off, and I think that's very good discipline they're showing us here.
Here is Fernandez. Good in the assist to Kidd. And the Mavericks lead by 5.
Boy, I like the fluidity I'm seeing from them on offense. It's a thing of beauty. Fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. They're moving the ball well, finding the open man, making that extra pass. They're playing very unselfishly right now.
There's the three. Joe Johnson again. Johnson's got 15.
He answers right back with a three of his own.
Well, you can see it. They're getting into it a bit. A little mano-mano here. One-upsmanship taking place.
And we'll get going after this from the American Airlines Center.
And it's a battle underway out in Dallas. Now let's get you going for the HP halftime show. For the Dallas Mavericks, they have the lead against Atlanta. They're making it look effortless offensively, scoring at will. Dirk Nowitzki's been clicking through too. How's that for a shooting percentage? 100. Yes, 100% from the court. Not too bad. And on the other side, the Hawks also putting up big numbers. They made a point of working the ball around. Great offensive teamwork. Joe Johnson through 2 quarters, outstanding. What he's been able to do from the field has been nothing short of spectacular. Only a select few players in the league can shoot the ball like that. Already some highlights from these two on the night. They're both leading their teams in scoring. That's all for us here in the studio. Let's get back out to Kevin and the crew. Thanks so much for joining me.
Welcome back, everyone, to the picturesque American Airlines Center here in beautiful Dallas as we resume action. Here's Heinrich, still looking to get on the scoreboard.
Well, I like the fact that the Mavs were a really strong team at home, and it shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, it seems like each year they find a way to win in front of a terrific home crowd.
Dirk Nowitzki and Tyson Chandler in the middle. Jason Kidd is out there with Rudy Fernandez. And it's Butler in at the 3 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. Now here is Horford. Shot clock at 6. On the wing, Johnson. He's covered by Kidd. That puts them in the lead. Johnson's got the first basket of the second half. That one for the Hawks. Back to the Mavs, that home crowd. They also have another guy who's pretty important in that audience. That's their owner. You know, Steve, he's watching every game in Dallas.
Yeah, from right behind the bench, too. That's something that the team has grown accustomed to. And Mark Cuban has been a terrific owner for the Mavericks. He's turned that franchise around. And he's really a major part of their culture.
Heinrich passes to Horford. Kicks to Johnson. From the post. And he converts the layup. Johnson's got 5 points now this quarter.
Both these teams really fighting hard here. This is an impressive matchup.
Yeah, not much separation able to be created either way, and I really marvel at the effort being expended by both of these teams.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kevin, I think we can put to rest once and for all the idea that somehow Dirk Nowitzki is soft or that the Dallas Mavericks are soft. It's a label that had been spread to the whole team, and they are glad to put it behind them. Jason Terry said of Dirk Nowitzki, Dirk has huge resolve. Regardless of what people say about him, he's going to come to the gym every day and prepare the same way. He's been doing it for so long, and he still doesn't get the credit that he deserves. A championship will help get that credit rolling, guys.
Thanks, Doris.
Yeah, make no mistake about it. I mean, Dirk was never a pushover. I think that was an unfair label. But what winning the title did was it shed that label forever. And it kind of put his stamp on the history of his impact on the NBA. Just an amazing story, Dirk Nowitzki last year.
Jason Terry has checked in for Rudy Fernandez. Here's Nowitzki. He's got 13. The jump hook, and Dallas again with the bucket. And not even 3 quarters out of the way. So many lead changes.
One heck of a game. I mean, guys, this has been outstanding in terms of the effort that both sides have been able to put on.
I'm looking over there at Steve. He's enjoying every second of it, Mark.
Me too. Man, this has been great, guys. The fans getting their money's worth here. Both teams just playing so hard out there.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks.
You know, Dallas survived the Blazers in round 1 and had to deal with a much bigger threat in L.A. in round 2.
Jeff Teague, he's checked in for Kirk Heinrich. Here's Johnson. 20 points for him. Good luck. Horford's shot is good. And the Hawks lead by 1. Back to the Mavs for just a moment. What a message they sent, Steve, by sweeping the Lakers in 4.
Well, that was the point where you knew they were a championship caliber team. I mean, they were, a lot of people expected them to actually lose to Portland in the first round. When they won that series, it was like, okay, but you sweep the Lakers, man, that's something.
Here's Teague after Caron Butler's bucket. Now Teague. He's covered by Kidd in Atlanta again with the bucket.
You know, after the disappointing end to their 2010 playoff push, the Hawks decided to make a change at the head coaching position and went with Larry Drew at the helm.
Terry against Johnson. Lock at 6. Got a piece of it. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation.
Boy, in a close game especially, those plays really hurt.
Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Pachulia, he's checked in for the Hawks. Heinrich comes in for Jeff Teague. Here's Heinrich. Looking for his first bucket of the game. Yeah, Clark back to Drew. They had Mike Woodson. He took him to the playoffs, but Larry Drew takes his place. Drew is on his staff. It was scrutinized early, but, you know, Steve, he took him back into the playoffs and deep into the playoffs.
Well, and that was their goal. They wanted to get back to winning a series in the postseason, and Drew was able to do that. They beat Orlando in the first round, and then they gave Chicago all they could handle in round 2.
The Mavericks trailer. Outside Kidd. Nowitzki up top. Back to Kidd. 4 on the shot clock. And it's Dallas with another.
And now 6 of their last 10 points from mid-range.
Yeah, jump shot really serving these guys pretty well.
You know, Jason Kidd last season became the oldest guard in the last 45 years to start in the NBA Finals and the second oldest starter to win a title since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Still a great player, even closing in on 40 years of age for Jason Kidd.
Now Smith defending. Unloads from 9. And there's Jason Terry on the assist by Kidd. Kidd's got 3 assists tonight. The Hawks trail by 3.
Tell you what, you talk about Jason Kidd, Clark, and he's no longer a guy who's going to carve up the defense with his penetration, but he's dramatically improved his jump shot, and he's so steady. He's still really a coach on the floor, and even without the blazing speed and strength, quickness, and everything he had early in his career, he's still a dynamic player.
Outside Butler. Covered by Smith. Kidd with it. Goes up against Pachulia. Outside Terry. And a great assist by Kidd as that one goes in. Kidd's got 4 assists now tonight.
And a 2-for-1 opportunity.
Yeah, they got to hurry. Step on the gas here.
Now here is Horford. He has 6. Backing him down is Johnson. Heinrich outside. Back to Johnson. Terry covering. Johnson dishes to Pachulia. And that one's good.
There was no question about it. He was going to finish that one off.
And here comes Kidd. 9 points in the game so far. The fader. Another 3 for Dallas.
And I think defensively you've got to commit a second defender because he's just destroying you right now.
Yeah, one-on-one, he's been a handful.
And that does it for the third quarter. Both teams clicking offensively as we approach the fourth quarter. Dirk Nowitzki having a dominant impact in this game.
About 3 quarters into the game, and the defense still doesn't have any answer for him down on the post.
Well, maybe mixing up his looks, bumping him out away from his comfort zone and out of his sweet spot may be a way to change things up. the defense is having a tough time dealing with him, and right now he's been unstoppable.
The Mavericks on top, up 5. Now, while we've got a moment, we're going to send it over to Doris Burke for our Spark of the Game, presented by Sprite. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. It's the Mavericks with the spark of the game with that big push we saw. Things fell for them in a big way in the third quarter, and that's when they took control of this basketball game. We'll see if they can keep things going their way to end this thing.
Thank you, Doris. They made a statement with that big run, Clark.
They sure did. I mean, actually, this team has what I like to call spurtability.
Clark, that's becoming one of our trademarks right there.
Without question.
We're all over it.
One of the great basketball words out there.
And Clark, I think the defense was sort of shell-shocked by that spurtability. They were reeling.
So with Smith sitting on the bench, here's the group that Larry Drew has on the floor. Johnson is out there with Marvin Williams. Then there's Heinrich, and it's Crawford, and it's Powell in at the 5 down low. Here's Crawford. Takes it right up, and the rebound goes to Jason Terry. Terry's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Three-pointer Fernandez. Good in the assist to Kidd. Kidd's got 6 assists now in the game. The Hawks trail by 10. Heinrich kicks to Johnson. Back to Heinrich. Johnson outside. 6 to shoot. Passes it to Heinrich, and it's blocked. Mavericks leading by 10. Hit his leg, and it's being called a kickball. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Dallas. Barea comes in for Jason Kidd. Atlanta also making some changes. Pachulia, he's checked in for Johnson. And it's Teague in for Kirk Heinrich. Rob.
Now, part of the reason they are where they are is that they have taken care of the ball for the most part.
And Williams backs in. Tipped. And so here is Dallas. It's a 10-point game. Barea, the pass to Nowitzki. Left side, Chandler. Williams against Marion. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Crawford. Atlanta calls timeout.
He's on fire. They needed to put their heads together to figure out how to get the ball out of his hand.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Larry Drew said to his team. He told them, hey, they're running the break on us, so let's give them a taste of their own medicine. Let's run them ragged. The tempo should be up, guys, and this could get interesting.
Here's Williams. The pass to Pachulia. Teague. Count it.
Both of these teams have really stepped it up offensively.
You know what, Steve? They haven't missed a chance, and I think both teams really know what's at stake on every possession here.
And here is Fernandez. Three-pointer. That drops. And the Mavericks lead by 11.
Boy, these threes are picking them apart. I mean, 4 out of the last 5 shots against them, all uncontested, and all are threes.
Yeah, the defense just looks uninterested right now. I mean, they're not making the effort to challenge these shots.
There's Crawford with the three. Another three for Atlanta.
Guys, he's really shot the ball well. It's definitely not his fault they find themselves trailing in this one.
Here is Barea. Fades away. Gets the bucket. 20 points for Nowitzki.
Takes such a delicate touch to hit that fadeaway jumper with a man in your face.
Time call here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. A different look for Dallas. Caron Butler's checked in for Marion. Terry comes in for Rudy Fernandez. And Jason Kidd has subbed in for J.J. Barea. And the Hawks will go for a different look here. Al Horford, he's checked in for Pachulia. Smith comes in for Josh Powell. Joe Johnson, he's checked in for Marvin Williams. And it's Heinrich in for Jeff Teague. Here is Heinrich. Chandler with the steal.
Well, credit the defense, but you've got to be more careful with the ball.
Open look. Again, the Mavericks score.
They're just getting better offensively as the game goes along, making good choices and getting high percentage shots.
And they're playing hard and playing smart too, Steve. They've just been very, very good.
Here's Johnson. And it ends up out of bounds. Here's Terry. They can take their time on this possession.
You know, guys, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, gives themselves a little break, too.
Catch the breath, you're right. Lets it go from deep. No good. Now Atlanta takes it the other way. 1:19 left in the fourth quarter of this one. 13 feet out, and Heinrich gets it to go. .11 left in the fourth. Terry with it. Nowitzki outside. Covered by Smith. Shoots from 12. Nowitzki, good.
He's a big reason why they have the lead right now. He's made all of his field goal attempts thus far and remains hot from the floor.
Now here's Heinrich. He's covered by Kidd. 6 on the shot clock. Took the opportunity when he saw it. We've got 33 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. He's picked up by Heinrich. Kidd kicks to Terry. He's guarded by Johnson. Launches it, and it's Jason Terry with the three. And the Mavericks lead by 13. And here's Atlanta, trailing by 13. Backing him down is Johnson. Open look, and there's Horford. That's good on the assist by Johnson.
You know, he's always been like a bad window washer, a streaky shooter. I mean, he's definitely in one of those grooves right now.
Here comes Terry. So we see the Mavericks taking the win here. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll see you next time. And now, our Jordan Player of the Game, Dirk Nowitzki.